All right, here we go. Today is day 30 of the 31-day individuation process for the month of October. It's crazy to think there's only one day left. I remember when I first started this and when I was just ideating and just like thinking about like how I was going to put this all together and just like the structure I'm realizing now I'm going to reformat everything. I want to take this so much like further. Like I want to do so many more things with this. I want to create a community with it and everything. I'm thinking about all the different ways to approach this, and it's just very exciting. There's nothing but potential here. Um, the question to ask today is, what does personal power mean to me? And the reason why this question is so important to understand is because personal power is something that we have, that we all have, that we give to everyone else, right? Or I wouldn't say that we give to everyone else, but like when you're conditioned in a very specific way growing up to be so like, I guess the word is enmeshed, right? So like you're putting your energy, you're tuning your energy into everyone else and everything else, right? And you're not really cultivating a whole lot of it for yourself, right? Personal power, energy, all that kind of stuff. It all comes back to the same idea of the the frame of authenticity, the boundary of the self. And it's very important to understand what this all means because bottom line is that it all comes down to, where you're putting yourself, your energy and all that stuff, right? So personal power, um, like what it means to me, like one of the most important things that I've learned throughout my life is to put myself first. And the reason why this is so important, and because I'm sure that a lot of people will, like they'll roll their eyes and everything, and they'll be like, right? There is a ridiculous kind of, I don't know, stigma is the right thing the right word to use. But there's like this ridiculous idea that comes with this, where like you're just not a good person if you put yourself first, and it's a myth. It's not true. I would argue the other way around actually. If you're somebody who's just giving yourself to everyone else first, um, you're not going to know what you need, what's best for yourself, right? So like even like now, like I'm at a point in my life where it's very interesting because I am realizing everything that has traumatized me growing up, and one of the most interesting things that I've come to the realization of, it's kind of funny, but like one of the most interesting things that I've come to the realization of is that I am actually not inherently defective. I never was. There was never anything wrong with me. It's just that trauma puts this filter over your vision. It puts this blindfold over your vision. And it gets you to believe things that just aren't accurate or true, right? Because people sell you belief systems growing up about different things, and that's it. That's literally in and of itself, that's an idea of personal power, giving your personal power away to a belief system that somebody else has projected onto you that has nothing to do with you. And so, like, I'm looking at it, right? And it's like, I realize now that throughout my entire life, I've settled with everything, with the things that I've done. Not now, more recently in my life, I've definitely challenged myself and have grown and expanded like wildly. But previously, I completely settled on behalf of what I was doing, on behalf of friendships, relationships, all that stuff. It's hilarious actually to think about it, and like now like I'm looking at it and like I've actually been having these like insights and these realizations and awakenings where I'm just like, oh, so there is nothing wrong with me. There never was anything wrong with me. I don't have to settle. And it's so interesting because I used to be somebody who was scared. I used to be somebody who was very scared, and when you approach life from a standpoint of fear, right? You're not fully alive. You're living in the confines of low energy matter, right? It's survival, right? And it presents life's experiences to you in such a specific way, but it's so limiting because it's just not accurate. It's not accurate to the foundation of what life actually is, right? And so the way that I'm approaching things now is like as I'm like awakening and realizing like, oh, there was never anything wrong with you, dude. You were just sold belief systems growing up that were never true. And you bought them because you were vulnerable. You didn't know what was going on, right? So you just believed them. You gave your personal power to them, right? Now that structure, that system in and of itself is collapsing. It's just falling away. It's fading away. It's so interesting. And this is why my most recent podcast episode was about system collapse. Because, like, what I've learned about myself is that I have exerted a fuck ton of energy into things that are completely irrelevant to my life. And I only did that because I thought I had to, because I thought I had to settle, because I thought that there was something wrong with me, that I was inherently defective. It's like once you wake up from that, like, it's just like, it's giving a jet engine fuel and watching it, go to the moon. Like, it's like nothing but potential awaits, and that's the really cool thing.